It's BBC Radio Leeds at 8:20. Time to introduce you now to our 2 newspaper reviewers for today. Always nice to see Kate Hardcastle again. Kate, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm living proof you can overcome the M62. It can be done. That was a bit of a shocker this morning. I wasn't ready for that. I've been down south this week.
You make all your plans with things taken for granted, don't you, with the M62? And it was shut for me as well, and I had to go all the way around Cleckheaton. And you came in from Halifax.
Huddersfield sort of area.
Did you come through a Brighouse or something to get
So
here?
I got on at 24, got to 25, realised what was happening, and then kind of came over the backs to Bradford. But goodness me, so's the rest of the world. It's like Friday night.
And you've had to make your own tea as well.
I had to make my own tea and coffee, which was, I'm a resourceful girl, Darren.
Yes, well, what's heartened me today is, despite the adversity, the M62 shut. We have no producer here this morning for technical reasons. I don't know what reasons actually, but basically we've been trying to battle on ourselves. But we've pulled together. Andrew is our other guest here as well. Andrew Bean. Mr. Bean is back. How are you today? You got in early.
I did. I didn't have to use the M62, so I was okay.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, fantastic cup of coffee, Kate. Thank you very much.
No worries. That's fine.
And rather than get the full sort of Rolls-Royce treatment where you get wafted up to the studio with a handler, you had to actually knock on the glass.
I had to find my own way.
Talk your way in.
And use a lift. And I still managed to make my way here.
But you're still here. It's great, isn't it?
We deserve, newspaper reviewers of the year awards. Your Christmas do.
It is award-winning material, actually.
I think
you're right.
so.
Yes.
Overcoming adversity.
Yes.
Definitely.
And using a lift.
And can I just say now, we are safe in the hands of Steve Bailey, who's our producer now. Steve Bailey is producing the show, so we are fully compliant and everything's back to full quality. There we are. He stepped in as well, so there we are. Fantastic.
He looks a happy man.
Wonderful man. Now then, Kate, you've got a big show coming up because you're a part of the Charity Dream Girls charity based in Halifax. What's coming up next weekend?
Well, I'm the founder of the Charity Dream Girls, and although we started in Halifax, we're kind of now moving. We are Yorkshire's own, and it's moving a little bit nationwide now, which is great. I was in meetings in London about it this week. It's all very exciting. We started off 4 years ago, realising that we needed some events in Yorkshire to raise awareness for charities. We've got lots of fundraising things going on, but it's difficult for people sometimes. Not a lot of money, and sometimes charity has to begin at home. So we wanted something that would raise awareness of the causes. 169,000 charities in the UK.
Is that right?
Yeah, and we
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
exactly. And we probably know, 3 or 4 top of our minds. Because the big charities will get their names across, and then the rest of them do fantastic jobs, and they're kind of unheralded, really.
Yeah,
and that's our job. So we pick 3 or 4 a year. An amazing, I've just got to say, I would never, ever kind of go on too long about it, but an amazing group of volunteers out again this weekend on the streets, just asking for people to come to this amazing show we put on. It would probably cost you £60-70 at the Manchester Evening News Arena or whatever, but it's 15 quid in Halifax. You get to see all these great names, and then when it goes to charity, and it's just a great night. It's like a bit like a comic relief, but with music live.
Yeah,
a
like
few
a
videos
concert,
and things.
I suppose.
Yeah, a concert with a
mixed
few
concert,
videos. And lots of entertainers and presenters.
Who's on the bill, Kate?
Well, the very lovely Krista Ackroyd starts us off at 7:15, working up to the
She's
soul
doing
legend.
some jokes and that, is she?
Yeah, she's on there. She's going to do some singing.
Great.
Soul legend Roachford's at the other end of it, and lots
with
of
his
people
cuddly
in between,
toy.
with his cuddly toy. Yeah, lots of people. We've got Maria Lawson for people who love Thriller Live, and Michael Jackson. She's come straight off the tour for that. Jenny Trent Hughes. We've got Scott Wright. We've got some special guests. We've got Emma Dale Cass. It's crazy. It's about 40 people on the bill.
Yeah.
And obviously the Charity Dream Girls. Our bit gets smaller every year, which is good, but we're there with a 12-piece band who back the likes of Corinne Bailey Rae and Amy Winehouse, so they're an amazing band, so of course they're going to make me sound
This
great.
is going to be a 10-hour show, Kate.
I wish I would. That's the planning of it is a nightmare. That's why I look the way I do. And my birthday, which was yesterday, I just mentioned, just disappears into the background.
Happy birthday.
Thanks very much. I got this beautiful cup of coffee for my birthday.
Which you made yourself.
Yeah, I made myself. But it's worth supporting. So it's Saturday the 25th of September at the Victoria Theatre. We couldn't do it without all the community that supports us, but we should be proud. You say pulling together. This is what we do.
That's the feel,
and we should be proud. And just like Andy's kind of thing, Andy runs a society, and we're going to put the two societies together.
Well, listen, we'll remember your birthday for next year. Okay,
thanks.
We'll take a note of that.
She won't let us forget, will she?
Andrew, good to see you again.
Yes, thanks for having me back.
Now, you're already involved in Panto for the Christmas, is that right?
Yes, we're doing.
What's happening?
We're doing a pantomime at the YMCA Crossley Street in Halifax in January. It's now cast. We've done the auditions. We're now doing it's.
And
little...
I didn't get a part.
She didn't get a part, no, but
And I
next
didn't
year,
get a part.
You didn't get a part.
But
we're not
there's
coming.
still emergency backup. If anybody drops out, you will get the call.
Yeah, if you need Prince Charming, I'm here.
Oh, well, I need to look at your legs first, just to make sure you've got the right legs for Prince
They're a
Charming.
bit hairy.
Oh, that'd be fine.
And pale.
And yeah, it's Little Jack Horner, the pantomime, bit different.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's still very traditional. It's a brilliant script by Paul Reeks, and yeah, it's going really well. We're doing it in conjunction with Victim Support. Which is a national charity organisation. Again, they're trying to raise awareness of, obviously, victims of crime.
Yeah.
So we're doing that in association with Victim Support, and again, just trying to do the best we can.
Right, okay, that's it. You're not till January. Be
No,
quiet
but
now. We're talking about the show.
In fairness, everybody get out this weekend and buy those tickets for Kate's concert.
definitely.
It's absolutely
Oh, you got a longer
fantastic.
plug than he did there. Don't be having to go with him. Now then,
I'm longer serving, and I made the tea.
longer serving. Let's get into the papers.
Yes.
I haven't managed to see them at all myself, so you can take me
been
in
busy.
and tell me what's making the news.
Did you know the Pope was here?
I knew about that.
Had
Yeah.
you heard that?
Did you pick out anything interesting from that?
The Pope. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, the controversy this morning is about the potential attack and the arrests and
Yes,
what's been
the,
going on there. So
the
you know,
arrests,
there's
a terror attack.
There's six
Yeah.
or seven. The reports are varying. People that have been arrested linked with a cleaning company in London. But you having a look into kind of a different angle from it, really. We've got a lot of pilgrims that are going up, haven't we, from the area? And we're getting
Yeah,
their
we've got a
stories.
few in
Yes.
London now. The Leeds diocese are in full voice down there already. We could
Yeah.
hear them on our piece there 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
What have you
so-
seen there, Andrew?
Well, I've got to say, with once you get past the Pope's story, there's not much left in the papers this morning. But looking at the Yorkshire Post this morning, there's actually two very good contrasting stories, which is heartening. Obviously, the six arrests about the Pope, this terror gang, as they're saying, which does sort of raise the question about terrorism again, and makes you feel a little uncertain. And safety-wise, etc. But on the same front page, we have a really heartwarming story. Coming back to charity again, there's an ex-miner and businessman who's donated £23 million for charity.
Is that lovely?
He's a guy from, and this is the other thing for inspiration for everybody out there. He left school at 15. He grew up in Halton Moor, which is, they're saying, one of the deprived suburbs of Leeds, and basically gone out into the workplace and made his fortune.
But he's the fella who runs the armaments company.
He does. He makes wire mesh cages for flood
Yeah.
defences and things like that.
And he supplies a lot of materials for military use.
Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah.
He's made his fortune, but he isn't just sitting back. He's actually giving back to society.
Yes, yes.
To the tune of 23 million.
You've got mention his name there if you have it in front of you.
Oh, it is Jim Heselden.
Jim Heselden, yeah. Very discreet man, in fairness. He doesn't like publicity, because I remember covering that. I can't remember why we were mentioning him, but he has a big manufacturing outlet in Cross Green Industrial area there.
Yes.
If it's the same man, yeah.
It is,
And
yes.
He's made a fortune. He's made a fortune, but as you say, he's giving a lot to charity there. That's interesting, yeah. But as the old line went, but doesn't like to talk about it.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
No.
But no, he's a good guy.
deserved.
He's a good guy.
The terror attacks as well. I can't find the story now as well. They've actually got the story of Mark Chapman again in, because obviously that raised its head this week as well.
John Lennon's killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they've actually gone through his hit list, which was quite concerning. He just wanted to be famous, and there's several people on the hit list, including Jackie Onassis. He can't actually remember many of the others that were on there at the time. So I did think that was quite interesting, kind of this plea for fame, really.
And that is interesting in the sense that the Pope, his Pope-mobile, it looks like a fish tank, doesn't
Yes.
it? The bulletproof glass is so thick.
Yes.
And that's where we are. There's no sort of walkabouts anymore for any
exactly.
dignitary at all, is there?
But then, I'm sure you all were kind of aware of it. A few weeks ago, I was in London. There was much controversy about David Cameron breaking the rules and regs all the time on security.
Yeah.
And, he is doing more walkabouts. He is walking to work. He is kind of being
Walking
out and
across and
about,
Downing
walking
Street to
across,
Westminster,
which is
yeah.
not allowed, causing a lot of problems for the London police down there. So it kind of is this whole area of, interacting with the public when you're in such a vital role. And wanting to just be, out there meeting and greeting, and the security risk, but then the cost of trying to do it. And that's what, the backlash was for Cameron. It was how many people were out there saying, well, do you realise, it's fantastic he's doing it, but do you know how much this is costing us? We're having to put extra.
Well, in the sense that
support,
we haven't got a bulletproof car, but we have to have 25
We've got to have
spotters.
26 people out there instead. And,
so it still costs.
So there's still costs there, but on an amusing note, the Popemobile, as I like to call it, is actually my car with a bolt on. So I was wondering, do you think Mercedes will let me have the extra bit?
Then
I could sit in the back.
Is yours white as well?
People. No, but I could paint it.
We could just get some spray paint.
Yeah, customised. It's like, I've always seen these cars with blue lights underneath.
You could call yours the Kate-mobile.
Yeah, and I could just go around Yorkshire in it. And then if the M62 closes, they'll let me through. Going, it's all right, it's Kate, let her through.
Oh dear, that's a fascinating thought, Kate. It really is. Okay, listen, we'll leave it for now, but more from the papers in just a bit.
West Yorkshire Travel.
BBC Radio Leeds.
Okay, let's get the latest on the roads now. M62 has been an issue today, David.
It has, but it's now reopened, which is good news.
Yes.
However, it's not the end of the story. It's going to close again tonight from 9 o'clock through until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's between junction 26 at Chain Bar and 25 at Brighouse. Everything else, thankfully, seems to be coping quite nicely so far. No bother on the M1. Pretty healthy if you're travelling into and out of Leeds. Still nice and quiet through Bradford. Watch out for work through Huddersfield on Chapel Hill, where the 616 meets the A62 Manchester Road. And on public transport, everything's fine unless you're travelling north of Newcastle up towards Glasgow, Aberdeen, or Edinburgh, in which case you've got a suspension of service on cross-country and a revised service on East Coast as a result of engineering work, and disruption to flights into and out of France and some European destinations due to industrial action by French air traffic control. Anything else? 0800 854 833. More in half an hour.
At the heart of West Yorkshire.
BBC Radio Leeds.
8:30, the BBC News headlines now. Here's Alan Watkiss.
And the Pope will meet the Prime Minister and other senior politicians this morning on the third day of his state visit to the UK. Since coming here, the Pope has been determined to speak out against what he sees as the marginalisation of religion in public life. The organisers of the Pope's visit say his schedule will remain unchanged, despite the arrest of 6 men on suspicion of plotting an attack. The men are employed as street cleaners in London. Changes are on the way to fire service cover in West Yorkshire. The county's to be divided into high and low risk areas, with staff and fire engines concentrated where they're needed most. Voting in Afghanistan's parliamentary elections has been marred by outbreaks of violence across the country. Rockets have been fired by militants in cities including Kabul and Jalalabad. And Liberal Democrats are gathering in Liverpool for their first annual conference since going into government with the Conservatives. The Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg has said he expects a rough ride from party activists over planned spending cuts. That's the BBC News for West Yorkshire. It's 8:32.
West Yorkshire Sport.
BBC Radio Leeds.
Leeds United drew 0-0 at Doncaster Rovers last night to move back into the playoff zone. David Soma hit the woodwork and had a goal ruled out for offside. But after the game, United manager Simon Grayson said he was delighted with the response after the midweek mauling at Barnsley.
I asked the players for a reaction from the other night, and we've got one. Obviously, made a few changes to freshen the team up. And I thought we were good. We did all the right things that I asked the players to do. We stifled Doncaster's passing game and made them go long. We were very solid as a group. We had good shape to our team, very disciplined. All the things that we probably didn't do the other night. When we got possession of the ball, we moved it around, were patient and kept it better and created some good chances. And on another night, I think we could have won it.
Simon Grayson there. Huddersfield Town striker Jordan Rhodes says he's not set himself a goal target for this season. Last season's top scorer is up and running for the new campaign, but says that success for the team is more important than any personal milestones. Town are at home today to Yeovil. Full match commentary on all our FM frequencies this afternoon. New Bradford City signing Lee Hendry could make his debut at home to Gillingham this afternoon. The former England under-21 international was playing in the Premier League just 4 years ago, and he admits the move to Valley Parade is a chance to resurrect his career.
I'm not coming here for money and stuff like that, you know. I'm coming here to play football and to put kind of a message out, if you like, to people that I am still fit and I still can play football, you know, and to have a chance and to say, you know, let's grasp this and try and show people that, you know, I'm still available and I'm still fit enough to play in the game.
Lee Hendry there in the mix for Bradford City today. Full commentary of that game against Gilliam on BBC Radio Leeds AM and DAB. West Ham will be without manager Avram Grant for today's lunchtime Premier League game against Stoke City. The Israeli won't be at the Britannia Stadium because he'll be observing the Jewish festival of Yom Kippur. There are 5 other games this afternoon, including the West Midlands derby between West Brom and Birmingham, while Arsenal will go to the top of the table with a win in the early evening game at Sunderland. In Super League, can the Huddersfield Giants keep their grand final hopes alive by winning at Warrington tonight in their elimination playoff? We'll have full commentary of the game on 774 AM, DAB digital and online. In last night's match, Wigan beat Hull KR 42-18. Now, in a moment, as regards the Giants, we'll hear from Captain Brett Hodgson. But first, here's Coach Nathan Brown.
The loser packs his bags and goes on a break and then gets ready for the next season coming, I suppose. And I'm sure both sides, neither would be fancying that idea. And I think both sides would be fancying, geez, if we can win this game, why can't we go all the way?
To knock anyone out at this stage is always a good scout for the club, isn't it? Last week was the first semi-final the club had ever won in the Super League era. So if we can add another one on that notch, then that'd be great.
Come on, the Giants. Well, we'll be live at the Halliwell Jones Stadium from 6 o'clock tonight on 774 AM, DAB digital and online as well. bbc.co.uk/Radio Leeds. And finally, England's cricketers lost the third one-day against Pakistan by 23 runs at the Oval. Pace bowler Umar Gul took 4 wickets for 6 runs in 18 balls as England, chasing 242 to win, collapsed from 201 for 5 to 218 all out in 45.4 overs. England still lead the 5-match series, though, 2-1. Is it games in cricket? I think it is 2-1. There we are. That's your sports.
Dara Corcoran.
BBC Radio Leeds.
Got to be honest with you, I don't know much about cricket. Andrew Bean is here and Kate Hardcastle. Do either of you know anything about cricket? Are they called games?
It's called a cricket match.
Oh, a match. It's a cricket match, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, but when it's then broken down into different legs, I'm not quite sure. So.
Yeah, legs. You see, it's another term there. Do you play a bit of cricket yourself, Andrew?
No, I used to when I was younger, but I haven't done for a long time. Football's more than my game.
Your
I'm involved
game,
with the junior football. That's back up and running now. The league's just started, so last Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon from 9:30 in the morning, that was my Sunday gone. Watching the kids. So
football dad?
Football dad, help coach as well, so it's full on at the moment.
Okay. So. Kate, were you glazed over during the sport there? Or
I normally do, don't I, Dara?
Yeah.
Well, I was sat here contemplating.
What were you thinking about during the sport?
I was thinking, apparently our rugby union team must act as mavericks if we're going to do anything or not. There's basically a report in the papers today saying we've got to do something different. And genuinely, I was sat there thinking, because obviously in real life I'm a business consultant, I thought, that's kind of what we're saying to businesses. I kind of get that. I can kind of get my head around that bit, but then scores, names...
So there was a relatively sort of sport-related thought there.
I thought, I'll have a look at the sport. He's going to ask me something. I'm not going to remember. That's it. All I can say is that I've supported Bradford, well, the Bradford Northern, you see, in my day. I was the mascot when I was a little girl.
Were you?
I was, yes. And I used to run them onto the pitch in case I got lost. I was always a bit confused. It's kind of like, where do you think you're going? You're going on there to play the match. Yeah. It's not difficult. Changing rooms. I'm 7. I can manage it. But no, I used to lead them onto the pitch, and then my dad kind of was encouraging of me having a lifelong support of them. And I go once a year and I freeze and I can't eat any pies because I'm a vegetarian. And I think,
well, you'll know our producer Steve Bailey here. He's their PA man, of course, on the pitch.
I recognise the voice. Yeah, you do very well. Those girls are very attractive at half time, aren't they? That's why you do it. Yeah. I don't know what they're called.
Are they the bullets or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. The bullets. Yes, I can tell you when I take my men friends with me to that match, that's they're like, I don't really like rugby league. Wow, I really like rugby league. I don't really like rugby league.
I love when they score a try, they run the Harley Davidson down the side of the pitch with the flag out the back. I think that's
really
quite
interesting.
funny.
When I was a proper singer, I was kind of part of the Sky buyout team for rugby league when it became televised, and this is probably mid-90s, I think. I'm looking at Steve for support now, and he's not helping me. And it went from sort of what I would class as a very traditional northern sport into quite a televised, and we were part of the entertainment crew because we were there at Headingley and all the stadiums to open up the matches.
Oh, yeah.
And suddenly attracting these massive crowds, and it became all the singing, dancing, and you know, I actually quite like it. At the time, I remember being really miserable about it and saying, "Oh, they're going to ruin it" and everything. But
yeah.
I love the fact it's so family friendly.
Well, do you know
it's
what?
A really nice atmosphere.
If you speak to anybody who is in the lower half of the old top table, they were quite bitter about Sky coming in. But overall, I think the Super League has been very beneficial to the sport.
Definitely.
It's a very even contest, so every fixture is quite exciting.
Yeah.
And I think the Premier League could learn a lot from it.
I agree. I've been to football matches for corporate entertainment, and I think the atmosphere can be really actually quite challenging for families, and also maybe females. I shouldn't really be that sexist, but I do find it a little bit wow when I go and stand in football crowds.
Speaking of sexist things, let's get on to another subject, which is a vital one. Sorry, Andrew, do you want
I was just going to say, there was
there?
actually, on Look North this week, there was a tribute to Eddie Waring. I remember Eddie Waring.
Yes.
And one of the criticisms of him was saying that he kept it very much a northern sport. Flat cap and whippets, that sort of thing. But of course, what we're discussing there was become a more national sport.
I just want on record that I spoke about sport for a few minutes.
Yes,
yeah, we'll recognise that.
I've just got to think now, hearing about all these girls dancing at half-time, perhaps I need to encourage my two young boys to change sport. Change the sport.
Maybe. Now, very important topic, central heating. Have you turned yours on yet, Kate?
Of course I have. It might not in July.
You're a lady, of course you are. And what about you, Andrew?
I would like
We're
to turn
more frugal, us fellas,
Well, I
aren't
would
we?
like to turn the central heating on, but I'm not allowed.
We'll sit there freezing.
Yeah,
You're not allowed by...
Oh, no, absolutely. My partner said, no, it's more, put another jumper on. You know, this is only
Your
September.
partner's saying that to you?
Yes, this is only September. You can't put the central heating on.
See, it only took us 10 seconds to blow
Nonsense.
the stereotype there, didn't it? There we
Absolutely.
are.
Well, I'm glad we did. What do you mean? It's nothing to do with male and female.
Well,
things.
I'm
Rubbish.
sat there in my pants going, I'm absolutely mafting, and the wife's saying, can we just turn the central heating up a little bit? It's a bit
That's a
chilly.
nice thought for a Saturday morning, isn't it? You're sat there in your pants.
Yes,
Lovely.
I dare go home now, obviously.
Right, okay, on this topic, which I am going to lead us into a news story then, the Stig. Because apparently the new Stig is going to be a lady. I want to do it.
Lady?
I love driving. Do you think they'll let... in a pink suit? I just think it's fantastic. She's going to be like Penelope
Yes,
Pitstop.
you driving your sprayed Mercedes Pope-mobile adaptation car at high speed would be entertaining.
What would Jeremy not love about
in a
it?
pink jumpsuit with
Like
a pink
Penelope
helmet.
Pitstop.
Yeah, fantastic.
But I think it'd be fantastic, really good. And I did actually see. Did you see the Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz thing?
Absolutely fantastic.
She was fantastic.
Yeah.
She was amazing. So why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that is stereotype. Why should it be a boy? So, and that is in the press today. The William Hill bets of who's it going to be.
Well, I think the problem is obviously nobody's meant to know who the Stig is, and if it becomes female, the limitations of professional racing drivers is
Why is that
limited.
even professional?
Yeah,
Have you done the M62 and
listen,
the M1 and M25?
all you
recently?
need to do is find the accelerator pedal and press it
Exactly,
really
that's all
hard.
they do.
I mean,
And
anybody can do that,
Exactly.
surely. That's all it's about.
And make noises.
Let's get back to the papers. Andrew, what have you got to tell us? If you've been delving through there.
I have. I've got actually a story which is really close to my heart. There is saying there is going to be a simple £2 blood test available in the next 5 years, which will then diagnose people who are going to be at risk in relation to heart disease or diabetes. My mother, unfortunately, had diabetes and she died at 39 from a heart attack, so it increases the risk. So for the simple, amount of £2, that's going to revolutionise the diagnosis of such diseases. I mean, looking at the statistics here, diabetes, 9 million people suffer from... it cost the NHS £9 million to deal with diabetes, and a further 1.7 million when dealing with heart disease, claiming over 200,000 lives a year.
It's the old question, Andrew, isn't it, of you would like to know in advance that you're susceptible or that you have it, and then take preventative action.
Absolutely,
You'd
yes.
sooner do that, would you, than sort of live a free life and just wait to see what hits you, as it were?
No, I think. Well, you've got the choice, then, haven't you? If you're informed and you're told that your lifestyle is going to lead to X, Y, Z, you have a choice, which is what life's all about, whether or not you want to make those life changes or continue down the same path.
Yeah. Would you like to know, Kate? We heard of a website this week, for example, where you can input details and it'll flag up when you'll die if you're diagnosed with breast cancer, for example. You know, would you like to know how your health is going to pan out, and even the year you die, if you could?
Yeah, I think it is an interesting one, and I think also these tests are being challenged a little bit by the medical authorities. I don't know if you've been into a chemist recently, but you can buy 20, 30 off-the-shelf tests. And when I was in London this week, I walked past a chemist offering paternity DNA testing for £199.
Really?
Yes.
Off the shelf?
Yeah, off the shelf. And it is
no wonder Jeremy Kyle's always using those. They're that cheap, huh?
Oh, yeah, God. So we'll talk about Jeremy Kyle in a minute. That is a really interesting area, because the medical authorities are challenging, I'm not suggesting this test, but some of the off-the-shelf tests, some of the tests you can go and pick up yourselves now. And I think there is, misinformation is absolutely as scary for me as the right information in advance. So in answer to your question, yes, I have suffered from illnesses. I've been in and out of hospital a lot, and I would absolutely love to know what the course looks like so I can steer it. However, you've got to be sensible. I eat healthily. I don't drink in excess. I live a relatively healthy life because I've made choices to try and prevent things. Is it going to take a warning shot from someone to say, if you carry on behaving like this, then you're more susceptible? There's a bit of common sense.
Let's just ask our listeners on this one, by the way. All those, I'm fascinated all those tests are available. Obviously, everything from a pregnancy test. Now you say a DNA test is available, a paternity test. Have you had any experience of that? I'd love to hear from you. If it's worked, it's been correct or incorrect. 81333, start your message with Leeds. Andrew, what were we going to say?
I would just say, and also there's a cost implement. If we can save that amount of money for the NHS, which is not a bottomless pit,
preventative things,
it can then go on to maybe help in other areas.
Well, this is what they've been saying about gastric bands this week as well. They're saying, actually, if the gastric bands were fitted, we would save the money in the NHS that we're dealing with obesity and all the difficulties that come with it, including diabetes, if we fit this band. But there is that catch-22 to it, isn't there, Andrew? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not an endless pit, and we can't spend on every test. I have an illness that isn't life-threatening, therefore it's not a priority, therefore investigations into it is not. But it ruins or tries to ruin my life pretty much every day. So, I think that I think it's an excellent one for debate, because
preventative medicine. It's a very good debate, isn't it?
Very much so.
Any thoughts on that? As I say, 81333. Start your message with Leeds. We're going to take a little bit of music here at BBC Radio Leeds. Get you back to the newspaper debate after this one. It's Tina Turner and The Best.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wild. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone I ever met. I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart.
Tina Turner. And the best is BBC Radio Leeds. It's worth mentioning again now, Nellie Holmes, 110. And I met her when she was 108 and 109. She's now 110, lives in a care home in Ravensthorpe. How long would you like to live till, Andrew?
I haven't particularly got an age limit, as long as I'm active, enjoy myself, and, yeah, go out with a bang.
OK, you've got a comment about a 103-year-old, I think, there.
There's an article in the Daily Express this morning. It's a judge in America who is 103 years old. The record for this, and he's still working, the record for this is 104, and he wants to beat that.
The record for being a judge and still operating?
He's still operating, 104 years old. But they're saying he's shrunk so much he struggles to see over the bench now. And I'll just read this out. A few years ago, staff noticed he was pausing a lot and feared the worst. But since he's now back on oxygen, he's back to full strength.
Oh, well, that's reassuring.
That's
He's just deciding some high-profile cases in America.
And
there,
he said he has asked his colleagues to tell him if they think he has lost the plot.
Right.
But I think the question there is age a physical thing, or is it a mind thing? Are you as
Well,
old
there's
as
a
you
programme
feel?
on at the moment. I don't know if you've watched
Yes.
it. Is it called The Young Ones? A colleague, my business partner, Rich, was telling me about it, with Lionel Blair and other people kind of getting over this mind over matter. And is it the way you're treated? And meant to be fascinating. There's some reports in about Lionel feeling like he's got the spring in his step again and he's back to his Palladium days. But isn't it interesting that it is mind over matter? Don't you think that, though? You can do that generally. If you this morning, do I want to feel tired? Because I've genuinely got all the rights to feel tired and genuinely...
all three of us here, I think it's safe to say, have failed to live fast and die young. But nevertheless, I feel younger. I feel younger than I really am. Would that apply to you, Kate?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going backwards a little bit, actually. I was a very old 20-year-old. But no, I think it is about mindset a lot of the time. However, you can't overcome some of the physical challenges, can you?
No.
The interesting thing was there was I don't know which actor, but an actor on this Young Ones, that's my
Young Uns.
Yorkshire coming out, the Young Uns programme.
Very good, I like that.
Bloke, Reet, and
flat cap.
all right, thank you. And he felt he couldn't have dogs anymore, and so he was given a couple of dogs that kind of revitalised him. Have you seen the programme? Do you know what I'm talking about?
David gave us a preview last week, and
Right,
it sounded a fascinating idea. I'd love to see the outfits as well, because they've got them back in the 70s
That's
gear,
right, yeah,
the
yeah.
flares and all the rest of it, no doubt.
I think the opening, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that the opening one was they're in this home, so they all turned up with the suitcases. And they said, right, your bedroom's
You had to
upstairs.
go and
They
lift
had
your own
to
suitcases.
because, of course, when you get older, I'll do that for you. Don't you carry that. So they did it, and the sense of achievement of actually getting the suitcase up the stairs. But by all accounts, it does over the weeks. They actually do start
They are getting to be. It's a
regress.
mind over matter thing,
Yeah.
to an extent, of course.
Okay. You had a little funny for me there to mention from the papers.
Well, I'm going to talk about something. I'm sure it isn't
Kate?
funny for a lot of people, because this is about weddings and the wedding phenomena. The average UK wedding costs, come on guys,
£18,000?
Close.
Ours 23,000.
Right, okay, bang in the middle, 21,000. £21,000.
That's the average.
That's the average.
I think we did it for 10.
Did you?
Or maybe even 8.
That's
And
good.
I was just chatting to my wife the other day, and we were looking at something on telly. I think it was one of the soaps or something like that. They were going to a wedding fair, or the wedding fair was featured on telly, and all the things you can have. And if you went, I said to her, if we went, we'd be, that looks lovely, doesn't it? We could have that, and we could have that. We could have those thrones and those ceramic swans for
Yes.
when people come in.
Exactly.
And you can see how you can rack the money up, you know?
You can, and also I think, my advice has always been it's about inventiveness rather than spend. And again, that's kind of a business thing as well. But, this is now the £199 wedding. A budget hotel chain, which I won't mention, is now offering a wedding package for £199. And for this, you get the outfits thrown in. So you get the bride and groom's outfits, 20 guests for a buffet lunch, and a 2-night stay in the champagne room, which looks like another budget travel room. Can you see it there? With
It's a bedroom with a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, there we go. That's what's mixed. And some petals. There are some petals. And you can keep the bridal dress and the groom's outfit, which are from respective very value retailers, perhaps sounding a little bit like Primani. But this is now their cheaper alternative. Interestingly, these are the first hotels it was made available in: Warrington, Swansea, Sheffield, Wigan and Barnsley. So, you know, this is very much in our region. So, yeah, it's quite interesting, really. It's
So if you want to get married in West Yorkshire, you have to go to Barnsley.
Barnsley's the place, yeah.
That's right, yeah, 199 quid.
It's in the north, isn't it? But isn't it amazing? It can be done for
It can be
£199, but my
done.
question is, why? Why?
Why what?
Why would you do it for £199?
Why would you do it for 23 grand? We've got a comment here regarding your desire to be the Stig in a pink jumpsuit and pink helmet.
Is it from Jeremy Clarkson?
It's from Irv in York. Dara, great show. Your guest wants Stig's job. Does she realise that Stig does not speak?
Oh, that's a bit
really
rude,
good
isn't
point.
it?
I think he's hit the nail on the head there.
You're
That's
scuppered
absolutely
there,
spot on.
Kate. I'm afraid.
Who is that?
Irv, that's a little bit sarky. Kate's
Well,
not
Irv.
taking it too
Oh,
well
Yes,
here.
in my
It's not
feelings.
taking it too well
I
here.
would look so good in a pink PVC suit as well. That's what Irv's going to miss out on now.
So wet.
It's working well on radio, that too.
Stig doesn't wear PVC, but obviously we're going in a different direction there,
Yes,
so we'll
yes.
leave that.
I'm
Now, listen,
reinventing it.
we've only got a few minutes left on our newspaper review before the news at 9, so let's just maybe cover a couple of more stories perhaps before we do finish, and something maybe to get us discussing stuff again later today. What else have you got?
Okay, well, mine was the wedding. What do you want to move over to, Andrew?
I've got just one final one, which is Big Brother. Basically, put this up there so you can hear me.
The Big Brother?
No, well, they're running out a campaign where the police are encouraging motorists to inform on other motorists. Such as seeing motorists with mobile phones, driving dangerously, etc. So this is going to be run out by the Sussex Police, but of course, this is just a Big Brother state of people informing on other people. Some of the critics have said this is open to abuse, ranging from people with minor grudges, people against the neighbours, etc. So, is it a good thing?
What do you do? Do you have to ring up? Is that the idea?
There is most of it's going to be done online, where you then inform on this website of your concerns. But the other thing is that the scheme is going to be promoted using a taxpayers funded letter. So again, more cost to the taxpayer. So, are we getting into a Big Brother state where everybody's watching each other? Is it a good thing? Is it going to reduce accidents and increase road safety? But again, a cost to the taxpayer.
I think it's very difficult to report something like that to the police, because it's sort of your observation of something. I mean, I remember a case, I saw a driver in a vehicle that was, I won't mention which outfit it was, but it was a company which should be a lot more responsible driving around, shall we say, and they committed an absolutely ridiculous overtaking manoeuvre and you know, put everybody's life at risk on the road. Rang up the local police in York. They said, well, I said, I've got the registration number and everything. He says, well, you're going to have to come in and make a complaint if you want to push that forward, you know.
Well,
and then it's my observational word against theirs and all the rest of it.
This is one of the points of it. This is untrained. You know, these people are making observations and don't know the Road Traffic Act or whatever.
There's a lot to pull out of that, isn't there? Yeah. Listen, we have run out of time, but have a fab weekend, Kate.
Oh, thank you.
Hope the
very
show
much.
goes well next weekend.
Thank you.
Buy your tickets now, please do.
Yes, please do buy the
And we'll
tickets.
be hearing more about your panto in January as well. Andrew, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
West Yorkshire.
I need you by my side to be my guide. Can't you see my arms are open wide? Feel the need, oh, feel it, feel the need in me. Every day I need it, every day I want it. Without your sweet, sweet love, I'd rather die. I need it constantly. Your love takes care of me. Your love
Detroit Emeralds and Feel the Need is BBC Radio Leeds. Good morning, it's Dara with you here, Saturday Breakfast. Always love it when you get in touch to let me know what's happening where you are. My day job is out and about in West Yorkshire investigating various stories. This week it's been the fire service and planned cutbacks, how it's going to affect us, and daft things as well, like the Araf sign. The second one's appeared. We had one in Castle Hill, now another one in Flockton. And I was also at Ilkley to speak to the little brewery, who say they would have liked to become a bigger brewery, but now they can't because Tesco are going to build on a site where the old brewery was that they might have refurbished. So there's a few interesting things going on, but always good when you get in touch. I love investigating your stories, and you can email radioleeds@bbc.co.uk or send a text to 81333 and start your message with Leeds. Here's one which I may well take a look at. This is happening today, in fact. You might see this if you're in Hebden Bridge. And apologies, I did flag up that I'd mentioned this earlier, but I hadn't got to it till now. I said it was a kerfuffle in Sorby Bridge. It's actually a kerfuffle in Hebden Bridge. Residents of Birchcliffe are up in arms about the action of one neighbour who's walled up an ancient footpath which gives access to a local infant school. And, well, the thing is, they're having a very bizarre protest today.